Unbelievable! Incredible! Unbelievable!
Save! And Spark our champions!
Good on, Pepe! Goal! It doesn't get any better than that! Hello everyone, welcome to the Game and Frame live stream. I'm Josh Pratt with Camden Brown on camera, and we are at Met Oval for more League for Clubs action. It was a stormy, wet day, but weather is just starting to clear. And we have got a red-hot Met Oval on the docket for this afternoon. They've won all three of their League for Club games. They're sitting just behind Monmouth in the table. They actually travel to play them next weekend. That will be quite a game. And also they're going to have a home game against Monmouth on the final day of the season. First State a little bit further down in the table. They've dropped some points recently. Most frustratingly, last weekend, a late penalty denying them a victory. So on paper, we'd expect Met Oval to be the favourites, but you never know. And so many of the games so far this season have been really compelling, closely fought contests. Our teams Met Oval, of course, are going to be in the white. First State will be in the dark green. First State coming from Delaware. And we're just finalising our starting 11s now, so we'll have that information for you very shortly. Right, there we go, and lovely scenes with all the youth players as well. A lot of the pre-academy players are down here tonight watching his Met Oval boys, and of course they've had just one home game so far in the League for Club season, which was that famous victory over Braveheart 4-2. Fantastic scenes on every goal. We practically had pitch invasions from the young players. And also Met Oval would like to thank their sponsors, La Casita Mexicana, who is the best Mexican restaurant north of the border, and you can mention Met Oval for 5% off your next visit, and also Positive Sports Therapy, where champions end pain and get their life back. Mention Met Oval for 15% off your visit, and of course we'd like to thank at Game and Frame our 24-25 sponsor Salt Athletic, who made the world's freshest, most advanced cleat bag. The air case blocks uses antimicrobial technology to block odour It's magnetically seals, makes for smell-free car rides, smell-free apartments, and they're offering the Game Frame community a 10% discount. Scan the QR code to get 10% off. Well, Coach John Burklow planning to start his Met Oval team at least a few hours before the kickoff in a 4-3-3. Alex Morania in goal. Bagnato, Posado even, excuse me, and Bernhard will be the left back as we are off and underway here at Met Oval. And First State coming right out the gates. And Morimoto brought down. Well, what a start by First State in the opening seconds. Very nearly had Met Oval right on the back foot, but Met Oval, who will uncompromisingly play out for the back for their first touches. So I was just finishing that starting 11. Kasha and Iriarte are going to be in the midfield. Reynoso on the right wing. Carlos Villa on the left wing. And then a front three, Massimo Morania, who scored 2 in the previous game against Lighthouse Boys. He's going to be on the right wing. Andrea de Blasio, who got a hat-trick in that match on the left wing. And Jose Saunders, who scored 2 of the goals in the first home game, will be at centre forwards. Ohana. Simoto works out to that left side. Well, they're playing something with some intention here. First State early on comes back to Morimoto, excuse me. Ariarte. Kasha does the give and go with him, and it's worked out to the skipper Villa, but too much on it for him. Ariarte. And it'll be a throw in. For Met Oval. Played out by Morania. And Massimo Morania not quite on with his touch. It's worked out to the right side. Recchi. One back by Carlos Villa. Saunders, he's going to help it on. And de Blasio steaming forwards. Howard out off his line quickly. A little bit sloppy by Met Oval. Host looking a little shaken early on. And then that shot took a deflection. Shot by Small. Not too troubling for Alex Morania. Moreno winning that first tackle. Harrison retrieves. Watanabe was looking for a clever little flick on, didn't quite pay off. Posada. Bagnato. Moreno back to Kasia, who's 19 years old, but absolutely bosses the midfield. Reynoso searching across for Saunders. All right, De Blasio who had snuck in from that left side. Reynoso hitting a superb cross for Matt Oval's first goal of the season. Connected onto by Balti Saunders. There's a couple of bodies coming together, but nothing intentional, I think, for any of the players. Sada. Morena. Kasia. Reynoso, incoming freshman at St. John's. Reynoso. Kasia driving forward, switched out to the skipper Villa. Played down the channel. De Blasio is in behind. De Blasio, who's looking for Saunders at the far post. The flag was up anyway, I think against De Blasio, quite delayed. Harrison gives it back to Howard. He floats it up. Commanding header by Bernhard. Lovely triangle by Matt Oval, beginning to find their flow. Villa heavy with his touch. And Howard will clear it. It's such a tight pitch here. The Dust Bowl really makes for a frenetic tempo. We saw it non-stop back and forth in the Braveheart game, and this contest certainly starting in the same fashion. Very, very narrow pitch. Raspadals. First eight got off to a good start. Well, actually, it was right at the end of the May they got a victory against Kingston, but then they drew their next one with that late goal. They were very disappointed to concede. They beat Lighthouse 3-1, or 5-3, excuse me. Notably, Met Oval absolutely hammered Lighthouse last weekend. 7-0 victories. Even Alex Moreno, who must have come out with a goal at some point, got on the score sheet. Lovely combinations by Met Oval. Villa, he's searching towards Saunders. The idea was there, the execution wasn't. Moreno, just about able to poke it onto Saunders. Reynoso, Kaza was pressed by Masamoto very hard. Reki. He's got down to the byline, dinks it back in. A little touch by Posada and then clearance. It'll be a throw-in. For Met Oval. Kasia. Almost all these players in the Met Oval squad have come through the academy. A lot of them are returning for the summer, so they graduated and they're returning from college. But Kasia still in the academy. Like I said, he's I think he might have just graduated, 19 years old. Villa didn't quite get his touch right. Carlos Villa is going to be an incoming freshman at Queen's College. He turns 19 in July. Posada. Bagnato. Moreno comes short for it. Reynoso. Saunders. Bagnato's going to drive it, and there's a gap in the middle. Bernhard, the left centre back, had it ventured forwards. Morimoto surrounded. Kasha and Metovo just beginning to exert their control on this contest. Good step in by Hospitals. The ball just ran out, according to the linesman at least, looked very tight. Bernhard. Bagnato. TJ Bernhard. Is that Monmouth University played in the Long Island Rough Riders Open Cup game versus Charlotte Independence earlier in the spring. Kasha. That tackle won by TJ Small and hat clear by Posada. Really clever header by Harrison, but one back by de Blasio, and he's going to search for Moreno. Too much on the pass though. So guys, we've got lots of action coming up on Game of Frame this weekend. It is a mammoth weekend, 8 finals. Starting with tonight, Hoboken against Ironbound, and the New Jersey State Association final, and then Pancyprians against Lansdowne at 4 p.m. tomorrow in the APSL Metropolitan Conference, and also a title battle between the Long Island Rough Riders and Motown at 6 p.m. tomorrow. That's going to be on our Sports Engine, all USL games mandated on there, and we're going to have 5 CSL finals too. So much to look forward to on Game of Frame this weekend. Ball dinked in and it's brought down. And it's a breakthrough for First State FC. It looked like Morimoto on the far side who brought it down with a deftest touch. Sprung the offside trap. And he squeezed it past Moreno. Matt Oval fell behind it, and just confirming that was Morimoto who scored it. Matt Oval fell behind against Braveheart here a few weeks ago. And that was also an early goal. 12 minutes in. They trail to First State, who win it straight back, and they've disrupted Matt Oval quite well, playing out from the back. Villa tracking back. There we are, that's a gorgeous touch. Slightly heavy though by de Blasio. Ariarte retains the ball though for Met Oval. Reynoso. Moreno. Stopped by Okawa. Heard down the line, de Blasio in behind. And the referee giving a foul throw, I think, Met Oval up and up because they thought for initially it called an offside off the throw-in. And that's dinked outside Hospitales. He showed too much to Veer, and there was a little clip there, and I think Veer could have kept running, but he knew it was going to go out, I think, and you could hear the contact. There was enough to warrant a free kick. And a decent position here for Met Oval to send something into the 18-yard box. Balti Saunders sets it down ominously. It's going to be an outswinger by the looks of it. Here it comes. Saunders swings it in. Beautiful ball. Immediate equaliser for Met Oval. A flying header by Nelson Reynoso. Oh, he steamed through the air and absolutely drilled it past Howard. Balti Saunders serving. Reynoso is dinner on a platter. It's the reverse of Met Oval's first home goal of the season against Braveheart. That time it was a Reynoso cross for Saunders. This time, Saunders for Reynoso. Game on. 2 goals inside the first 15 minutes. So I think the referee is, I'm not sure, he got called over for something or other. Oh, what a first quarter of an hour here. Frantic pace. A goal for either side. And that's Nelson Reynoso's first goal of the season. The header was good and the ball was good, but also First State have got to look at their defending. There's 2 white shirts all by themselves at the near post. Ariarte, too much on it for Marania. Kasha with the flick on. De Blasio too, but cruelly dealt with by Harrison. Small. Akawa. Howard out to Hospedales, who's going to get closed down with some tempo by Carlos Villa, who's won it back. Dinks it in. Kasha! Just over the crossbar. Ball was popped up with a little dink by Villa, and Kasha had to generate all the power himself with that header. And also he was, I think, stretching at the top of his jump, but nonetheless a decent chance for Met Oval to rapidly flip the game on its head. And it's a second foul throw given against Nelson Reynoso. Not often you see that at this level. Nagayoshi. His ball cut out. Saunders. Stopped well by Harrison. Small. Looking for the reverse ball, and I tell you what, Recchi wasn't a million miles away from connecting with that. Drifted in from the right side. Cash up. Bagnato. Just a hopeful ball up, not a lot for his teammates to chase there. Well, the sun has started to peep out here in Queens after a very stormy afternoon. Had some thunder showers earlier. So we've been very fortunate. And also the dust ball is much improved from its previous very sandy surface, so the pitch is drained nicely. Here's Small, who gets himself half a yard. That was not far away. Caught it very well. And I'm not sure Alex Morania was getting that one. Morania. Reynoso. Corner kick. First of the afternoon. It will be Balti Saunders to deliver. Put in a pearl for the free kick, which led to the equaliser. What can he conjure up this time? Swung in. Small with the header at the near post. Bernard first to it. And there'll be a throw-in for Met Oval. Bernard resets it back to Posada. Bagnato on the diagonal. It's a good ball. Oh, thought for a second. Raki able to clear it. Bernard returns it to Alex Morania. He floats it up towards de Blasio, slightly too much height for him. Here's Reki. That's a Moto. And he got caught. He was looking for a foul. I have to say, on first glance, it looked like a foul to me too, but nonetheless, play continuing. Saunders showed too much of the ball to Harrison. That's a Moto. Up gingerly to his feet, de Blasio with the touch. There's a big bit of space for Villa on the left side. De Blasio couldn't wriggle away from the green defenders. Posada. That ball's cut out by Spadales. This contest continuing to be played at a breakneck tempo. Kasia. Saunders. He gets it again. He finds Villa. Bernhard. That's a lovely ball towards Morania, who's offside. Missed it anyway. Looked like he probably was half a foot or so beyond the line. Bagnato. Hopeful knock up. That's a bit of a hospital header to Howard, who could only put it out for a throw-in deep inside his own half. Villa. There'll be another throw-in for Met Oval. Spadales clearing partially. Kasia wins it back for Met over Reynoso. He's dispossessed. Watanabe winning that throw-in. That's a Moto who's getting a few knocks. Taken down again. Morania to Ariate, who isn't easily deterred, and he showed great composure there. to Blasio, out to Reynoso, and now the break is on. There's Akers on the left side. It's Saunders, Villa in the middle. Saunders, too much on it for Carlos Villa at the far post. Matt Oval shredding the first 8 press and creating an overload in the blink of an eye at the other end. The 4-3-3 does often leave it quite precarious for Matt Oval when they have possession at the back line. They're playing triangles, sometimes 3-on-3, but they have so much quality. They can generally play out of it, and when they do, it means they have a lot more numbers to overload in the forward areas. What do you do as the opponent? Do you push hard and risk that, or do you just sit back and let this very talented group have the time to probe your back line? Matsumoto. That's a poor pass. Oh, there's a late tackle on him. And attendance a little down this afternoon, I think because of the weather, or the predicted weather, compared to the opening game, but we've still got some atmosphere, as you can hear. Floated in. Morimoto got a header on it, but couldn't do too much with it. Mourinho just set it down. Bagnato down the channel. Reynoso. He'll win the throw-in. I think that'll be a throw-in for first state. No, the referee's giving it to Matt Oval again. Bagnato. De Blasio helping it to Villa. Bernard. Kasha. He's able to play out the tightest of spaces, Kasha. Reynoso. He's going to search towards De Blasio. Really good defensive header by Harrison to meet that. Well, if you're just tuning in, 2 goals inside the first quarter of an hour. Morimoto, with his second goal of the season, opened the scoring. And a very quick response by Nelson Reynoso, connecting on a Balti Saunders free kick. It's a really good bit of defending by Bagnato. Morenia. Got the angle slightly off on that switch, forced Villa back, but he's able to keep it in, the captain. Bernard testing ball. Really good bit of defending by Akawa. Iriarte restoring order. Kasha. Bernard. Bagnato. First state squeezing. That Posada covering and clearing. Nagayoshi. And the flag is going to go up here against Matsumoto. Rather soft that. Guys, stay tuned at half time. We're going to have our May goal of the month, and it is a sizzling lineup. A lot of long-range golassos. And of course, there's voting open on our Instagram page at Game and Frame. Voting closes on Sunday at midnight. Here's Carlos Villa. Saunders in the middle. Villa and Saunders with a touch. Saunders into the side netting. That first touch just took him too wide. Wonder if he could have perhaps gone for it first time. But I think he was aware he had a little bit of space in the area. Just the touch was heavy. Good press by the host, De Blasio. Villa took a deflection. Morenia set it back to Saunders, who wasn't on the same wavelength. I think Morenia, because of the deflection, felt he couldn't take the shot himself. Kasha. Posada. Bernard. Kasha. Morenia back to Posada. That cross clattered off of Okawa. Thrown on the far side for Met Oval. We just passed the 30-minute mark. Kasha. Posada. Bernard. Villa. De Blasio dropping deep. De Blasio and Bagnato, both at Boston University, who were the regular season Patriot League champions in full. Here's another opportunity for Saunders to deliver something in. A bit more central this time, the angle. Whipped in this time, not enough on the cross. Small able to clear it comfortably. Saunders, clever touch. Villa, he dinks it to De Blasio, too much on it. Well, I think it's fair to say Met Oval have overall been the better team so far. Although, as with their home opener, it was the visitors who started faster. But since then, Met Oval with most of the possession. But this first state team certainly has plenty of threat. Here's Reynoso. Too much on his touch. Bernard with the first chest, but then Morimoto was starting to surge towards the defensive back line. He was stopped. Ariate and De Blasio. Villa. He's got pace, Villa. Harrison shoulder to shoulder. Harrison doing really well to contain the captain, and it goes out for a goal kick. Really good defending by Harrison, who showed there he's no slouch either. TJ Small. Off the ball, Recchi felt he had been impeded. The referee didn't see it that way. Posada. Reynoso. Morenia. Kasha. And Carlos Villa is going to be onside here. Oh, I tell you what, I was standing right in line with Villa, and he looked certainly onside. I think De Blasio was off. But Villa looked a foot behind the line. Oh, but, well, on the right side of the line from his perspective, it was De Blasio, it's offside. Offside out. Bagnato. Reynoso again, Matt Oval not compromising there, willing to play out from the back no matter how hard the press. Saunders. Villa was screaming for it on the left side. No one picked their head up to find him though. Not a great free kick. And here's Saunders. Initially headed. Lovely touch around the corner by Small. Nagayoshi cuts inside. Nagayoshi. Bernard closed down the space and got the shot. I tell you what, there's a perpetual gap on the right side of First State's free kick. I'm not sure the linesman got that one right either. It was very tight this time. But there's a perpetual gap on the right side. You can see Matt Oval consistently trying to exploit with the diagonals. I think First State's got to look at that. At some point, they're going to be punished. Uriarte. De Blasio, he's been a little loose with that ball. Hospitals comes towards the edge. Shot! Saved by Moreno. Rebound. 2-1. Flag stays down. The initial strike by Akawa. And it looks like Matsumoto there to pounce on the rebound, and First State lead again at Met Oval. Actually, excuse me, I think that was Morimoto who got that goal. So he's now in a brace, and Morimoto's won it back again. What an afternoon he's having so far. Recchi. And there looked like there was a push there on the back. How's a protest from First State? It was Bagnato on the back of Matsumoto. I just wonder if Met Oval got away with one there. Uriarte, glorious ball, Villa. De Blasio, I think he will be offside this time, and that looked like it was the right call. The pass was, I think, intended to find Recchi. Posada. Bagnato. Saunders. Cash up. Ranch with the step, and he got some of the ball, but too much of the man. De Blasio. Nelson Reynoso. Uriarte. De Blasio. Touch around the corner. Cut out by Akua. Popped up in the air by Matsumoto. Couldn't help it onto Morimoto. Morania. Gets to the bat from Bagnato. That's a really poor pass by Bagnato. Recovered well. Saunders. He's pickpocketed though. And then a speculative shot. Decently caught. But Alex Morania certainly had it covered. 5 minutes left in the first half. Morimoto's brace giving First State the lead at the Dust Bowl. Small. Bagnato intercepting. Ranch. That's a clever touch by Matsumoto. The flag is going to go up against Reki. Beautiful interchange of feet by Matsumoto. Matt Ovala rocking a little bit since conceding that second goal. Uriarte. Saunders. That's sublime football by Matt Oval, but that final pass a little too heavy. So sorry guys, we briefly lost our connection. That one has played towards Kasha, who's got inside. Kasha, he was just stretching as he went for the shot and couldn't really get enough on it to test. Howard in between the sticks. One in the middle, and space had just opened up to Akoa, who saw his name in the headlines, but not the right strike. Small but a big foot behind that as we are ticking towards half time. First State with the narrow lead. Kasha. Posada. Small's won that. Small setting the dummy. Kasha covering, and Morania clearing it. And Massimo Mourinho caught by Morimoto. Via. De Blasio unable to keep that ball in. That goes out onto the far side. Okoa. Tell you what, Recchi wasn't far off the back of Bernard. He misjudged the flight of the ball. That's the final action of the first half. First State scored early before Reynoso almost immediately responded, and then Matt Oval probably had the better, you'd feel, of the next 20-25 minutes before Morimoto re-established the lead for First State. Met Oval's 100% start to the League of Clubs in jeopardy right now. But guys, for now, it's my absolute pleasure to present to you our Goal of the Month nominees for May. 1-0 lead. Gianna Paul is going to go for a long-range shot! Oh my word! It's astonishing! Explosive! Unreal! Gianna Paul!
Back out wide. The Staten Island Monarchs looking for the opening goal! Goal! Outrageous! Seth Powder with the opener!
Similar spot just barely earlier in the half. Zielonka, same setup, 2-1. Zielonka goes straight in. He beats Fontes to the near post. And Hudson Valley Hammers in the last few minutes have flipped the score and now lead by 1. It's 2-1.
Had to do better with the pressure. Nice. Flicks it back. Lovely. And away he goes at pace. For Song. No, it's for Knight. Does he find Song? Yes, he does in the middle. Song alone and rolls it ever so gently past Meta. Tremendous link-up play from CPR, who string passes together like beads on a friendship bracelet. And the resulting finish, blink and you'd miss it, but just so sweet, so nice.
To get the ball away from danger for the moment. But the Lions can come with a shot's taken, and it's in the back of the net. What a finish! From nothing! What a goal! A loose pass sees the ball fall to the D. Jackson Lions midfielder.
Despite being pressed by 2, with as calm and cool as ever. And she already has 1 goal to her name. Oh, it's a second from outside the 18-yard box! Goal! Brooklyn City!
Weaver with the recovery run, pokes it, waiting for the advantages to go, and it's a goal! A long-range ripper! Number 23, substitute Yoder, puts the home side up, yet another goal.
Brian Yetto driving up towards Saramago, that's clever. Brian Saramago specs the shot. Oh my word! It's an absolute worldie by Captain Fantastic. The Tomcats are in the lead again. Audacious. Stupendous.
And this is Mika back to Rio once again. Rio takes a long shot, and Rio, what a goal!
From as far as you can see, what a banger to beat Mejia's post. And Red Hook have tied things up.
Bardic, they know what it means. They know they need these 3 points. Bardic's shot is in the back of the net! Jenny Bardic at number 31! He grabbed the ball almost 30 yards out and he slams it into the back of the net!
Mira even, excuse me. Nicky turning Mira, letting fly, decently caught! Spectacular equaliser for New Haven. A rocket from Gilhame Mira.
My name is Austin Brummett. I'm a men's soccer player at San Diego State University and I play forward. The Salt Air Case helps block odor from my cleats when I'm driving in my car or when I'm keeping my cleats inside my house, so I don't have to worry about it stinking up my room. It helps me keep track of my cleats and my shin guards so I know that they're together and I don't have to worry about tracking them down or losing them or stressing out about where they are. I would definitely rock this, walking to the games, walking around to my trainings. And it's super helpful for travel. When I travel in the airport to go to away games, it's not going to stink up my backpack or stink up the plane where I'm sitting. Magnetic strip on the top is super easy to open to take my cleats out and to put my cleats back in. I think it's an essential part of my outfit for soccer and it helps keep all my stuff organized and stink-free.
A quality highlight reel is crucial for college and pro recruitment. A lot of services offer generic solutions, but at Game & Frame we know every player is unique and needs a personalised approach to win over coaches. Our process is simple. We work with any footage, and if you need help finding your best plays, we'll review games for you. Once we've finished, you'll have a reel you can upload to any recruitment platform. We've helped hundreds of players get the attention they deserve, including placements in Division 1 programs. Scan the QR code or email us for a free consultation and start the journey to maximize your recruitment potential. Hello everyone, welcome back to Met Oval. The hosts down, but certainly not out. Very entertaining first half, back and forth. And Met Oval, I think, had more possession, but it was First State who've been more clinical with their chances. This Met Oval has fought back from behind it before this season against Braveheart on the opening day. Didn't concede on their travels away from home and scored 10 without reply between the two games away. But a much stiffer challenge presented by this First State team. Strap yourselves in, ladies and gentlemen. We should be in for a very entertaining second half. Both sides unchanged, and it did confirm at half-time as well. It was Morimoto who got the second goal for First State, so he is on a hat-trick. So Balti Saunders kicks us off for their second period. And let's see what Met Oval can deliver. They had probably more of the possession in that first half, lots of decent combinations, but a little lack of cutting edge in the final third. But this is a side full of quality. And coach John Barklow's got lots of options on the bench as well. Recky's going to drive down the channel, Posada there to stop him. Harrison crossfield, met by Bagnato. TJ Small, and the flag is going to go up against Matsumoto. Loose by Bernard, but he's won it back. And that's a much more penetrating ball. Morenia, Iriarte, Bagnato, try to force the crossfield ball. Getting a few side eyes from his teammates. I think wanted to just keep the ball. Morenia. Big header by Ranch. Good interchange by First State. Watanabe. Class Villa doing defensive work. De Blasio give and go with Villa. Cut out by Akawa. And then it's loose by Kasha. The recovery by Posada, who's had to make two quite important defensive tackles early in this half. Saunders. Reynoso. Down the channel. Morenia will give chase. Howard well positioned and very calm on the ball. And that's a lovely switch. Recky's got a little bit of space here on the right side. Didn't make the most of it at all. One back, surging tackle. You can't take your eye off this one. The tempo is pulsating. Lovely football by First State. A relatively tame finish by Morimoto, the man on a hat-trick. Morenia. He'll win the throw-in for Met Oval. Ariate. Bagnato. Kasia. Nelson Reynoso. It's a teasing cross. It got the slice of touches and an all-important touch, I think, by Ronch. Because he had Massimo Moreno waiting behind him to apply a finishing touch. That was so awkward for the defender. Facing his own goal. If he got too much on it, of course, could be facing an own goal. Corner kick. Saunders gives on the edge. Sent in. Bagnato couldn't really get up in his jump as he tussled with Akawa. Masamoto helps around the corner. Reki. Small. Lovely touch and interchange again by First State. I think that might have been a shot by Miramoto. Very ambitious. Look at that for a combination issue, but First State are playing toe-to-toe in this possession game with Met Oval. Hospitals, Small. Round the corner. Nagayoshi down the channel. And Akawa. Headed clear by Bernhard. Look at that from Watanabe. Skipping over the tackles. Met Oval are facing a team that, as technical as them, I think you could say comparable. And this smaller, tighter space is certainly something that First State are relishing at the moment. Really lovely technical interchanges. Well, it's actually turned into a nice afternoon now. Whipped in, wicked ball. There's Moreno, Massimo Moreno with the touch, who got it back to Alex Moreno. Ariate driving it forwards on the diagonal. It's a brilliant ball. Past Villa. And he's been brought down by Hospitales. Referee didn't feel it was a free kick. Ball going back to Moreno. That's a loose back pass. De Blasio. Howard came off his line to save Harrison his blushes. Held in. De Blasio. It'll be a corner kick. Saunders with the outswinger, Reynoso was at that near post, bouncing around, appeals for a handball, referee, well sighted but not interested. Moreno. Kaza returns it to Moreno. Lovely touch by Moreno, sets it back, comes onto the edge. But good positioning, and then there was a bit of afters. But First State are on the break. And Met Oval are short-handed at the back. Morimoto offside. That looked very tight again. Been a lot of tight calls for offsides. Well, guys, reminder, Met Oval are sponsored by La Casita Mexicana, the best Mexican restaurant north of the border. Mention Met Oval to get 5% off your next visit, and also sponsored by Posture Sports Therapy, where champions end pain and get their life back. And of course, Game of Frame sponsored by Salt Athletic, 10% off on the air case if you scan the QR code, and brilliant device for reducing odour for cleats. Massamoto couldn't keep his bearings. It goes back to Morenia. Still neither manager has made a substitution, but both have benches warming up. Now be a free kick from Etoval. Posada. Villa. Couldn't quite ride the tackle of Hospitals. Recchi. Massamoto in the middle. And Recchi, I think, was looking for a cross there. Woefully off target, if it was. And now the sun is out, I think probably it's quite hot on the turf. We're in shade on our side, but and Coach Bucklow is going to make his first change. It's going to be a triple change. Arauja will be one to come on. And for Gentile also. And Kendall Thomas. Saunders is going to make way. Kaifia too. And Bagnato also has made way. Looks like Thomas has gone to right centre back. That's Lusa playing out the back there from Metoval. Glenford Gentle and the number 14 is at centre forwards. Actually might be Gentile has gone into the midfield with De Blasio now at centre forwards. Perhaps a change of shape. Bernard might have pushed further up the field. Morenia unable to find a teammate. Recchi sat up decently, but would have been special to score from there. Jason Aruja, by the looks of things, is on the left back position. And First State going to make a double change.
You don't even know, bro. Fucking play, man.
Nagayoshi is off. And Recchi is also withdrawn. Fujisawa is now on the left wing. And we'll get a look at the other sub shortly. A little over 30 minutes remaining. I think First State will be very pleased overall with how the second half has transpired thus far. A lot can change in 30 minutes of football. Reynoso. Driving forwards. Morenia. Kasha. Morenia again. First State compact. Thomas. Lost his footing. Ariate retains the ball for Metoval. And fighting Gentle forwards. And it looks like Gentle is in that number 9 position. Thomas. Floats it across field to Aruja. And helped on by de Blasio. Good football by Metoval. And Gentle is going to bring that down. Looked like it might have been a hand, and the referee, or the linesman even, with his flag up. Really good play out from the back by Metoval. Well, this is our second League of Club Games on Game of Frame, second ever, because of course it's a brand new league. They've both been pulsatingly exciting, breakneck tempo, and very competitive games. Good adverts for the new league. Driven right down the middle by Ranch. Morenia. Posada. A little fortunate there, and a little bit of guile too. Gentil. De Blasio closed down well by Harrison. Reynoso. There's a gap. Gentil. Cuts it inside. What a beautiful touch. Morenia onside. Morenia back in. What a goal this will be. Gentil. Dispossessed on the last pass by Hospitales. Exhibition football. Heels and flicks. Left, right and centre. That move just ignited the crowd though. Be a throw in the end right by the corner flag for first eight. Morimoto asking a lot of Tariq Nichols, who's on the right side of the substitutes, come on for first eight. That pass made its way through everyone. The time wasting already beginning a little bit. Howard's going to pick it up. Guys, a reminder, we've got so much more action coming up on Game of Frame. Hoboken versus Ironbound in the New Jersey State Cup final at 8 p.m. tonight. Pansipra Freedoms against Lansdowne. I would say the most bitter grudge match in US soccer right now. 4 p.m. tomorrow, APSL Metro final. Don't miss that one. And we're going to have the Rough Riders against Motown at 6 p.m. That's a table-topping clash in USL 2. That'll be on Sports Engine. And we're going to have 5 CSL finals as well on Sunday. All that on Game and Frame. Morenia, clever touch. De Blasio offside, and he's had a bit of trouble staying the right side of the flag today. De Blasio. More changes coming from Coach Bucklow. Betaloo and Baker is going to come on. Reynoso. Reynoso is going to come off here. He's replaced by Betaloo, and Massimo Morenia are also off. Betaloo is going to go onto the right wing, or the right wing back. And Will Barker is going to go on the right side of the attack. So the whole right flank changed by Coach Bucklow. Morenia off his line, didn't really get that clearance as he would want, but danger averted for now. Akawa. Watanabe. Crunching tackles. Fujisawa couldn't keep it in. He will get the throw and he'll take it quickly. Morimoto couldn't escape the attention of Thomas. Ball will fall to Iriarte. Bernhard. Aruja looking back for Iriarte, throw-in for the Queen side. Kasha. De Blasio turning. Thomas. Bettelou. Unable to beat his man. Thomas, Ariate with the sharp turn and the sharp footwork too. And he was impeded by a few players. They'll get the free kick and a decent spot here for Met Oval. And Ariate will take it. 25 minutes remaining at the Dust Bowl. Met Oval, who have been flawless in the league up to now, currently facing defeat. Ariate could go for a shot here. It's quite far out, but just two in Howard's wall. There is a decent gap on Howard's right side. Ariate's going to whip it in instead. Thomas with the first header. And Bernhard couldn't connect with the flick on. So you can see that home crowd continues to believe, and there's still plenty of time for Met Oval. Maramoto, he's found Nichols, and the break is on here for first eight. Centre side, Masimoto saved by Morania, and the header by Nichols. Not troubling. Oh, that was a big chance to give themselves the cushion. A really big chance. And Masimoto should have buried it. Give credit to Morania. He came out, made himself big, as big as he could. We have a man down just inside first eight's half, which is why the whistle's been blown. And everyone, there's a reminder that you can vote for your favourite goal on Instagram. Head to @GameandFrame.
But he's injured. Sir, he's injured. Number 9. He's fine.
And that was Matsumoto's last touch, that shot. He may live to rue the miss, depending upon the final result. Bowen Simmons replaces him. Ariate. Kasha. Searching for Bettelou, who's got inside, and it's Gentle, and it's 2-2. Met Oval level again, to the delight of the home fans. Glenford Gentle, the super sub, took his chance with icy composure. And it was the sub Bettelou as well who set him up. Game on with 22 minutes remaining at Met Oval. Oh, you cannot take your eyes off this one, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of credit has to go to Matteo Bettelou. He kept scrapping for the ball. Got the wrong side of his defender, and a really good touch in to Glenford Gentle. Once he was through, he didn't seem to have any doubt in his mind as to what he was going to do. Tuck it in the back of the net. It's all to play for now. Fuji Sawa offside. Well, I honestly thought that first Met Oval home game against Braveheart was going to be hard to top for entertainment value. A 4-2 thriller, but this one might just do that. Gentle is in behind again. Howard is acres off his line. And he's pulled his hamstring, I think, Howard, as well as he came out. Which might be why he was so off the ball, because I didn't initially see his run. I just wondered, did he pull it whilst he's running? And that's why he had to stop, because he was so far away from getting that. And this is some real concern for Lighthouse. For First State even. Not sure if they brought a backup keeper. He's back on his feet, Howard, but that's certainly one to watch. He's still holding that hamstring, you can see, and a tweaked hamstring is not really what anyone wants to play with. We'll see, particularly if he's having to do jumps, if he's having to come off his line again, that could be a real liability. 20 minutes remaining here. Glenford Gentle has squared things up. Met Oval have come back from behind twice at the Dust Bowl as they look to maintain the 100% record and go to FC Monmouth, their title rivals, with equivalent maximum points. Betterloo down the channel. Will Baker is onside, cuts inside. Baker takes a deflection. De Blasio cleared. Well, Met Oval knocking on the door. Knocking hard. Kasha. How quickly a game of football can change with a goal when you can just feel the belief has rushed into the veins of Met Oval. And perhaps doubt creeping in the minds of First State. Betterloo. Ariate. Thomas stood on the ball. Kasha doing well to bail him out. And don't forget that man, Alex Morania, saved just a few minutes before the equaliser to deny Masimoto. If Met Oval come away from this with a point or three, Morania has a big claim to that. Here they come searching for a goal to put them in the lead towards the far post. Headed! It's Betterloo! And the comeback is complete for Met Oval. What a 10 minutes for Betterloo. He's come off the bench, he's got an assist, and he's nodded them in the lead. 17 minutes left. Eruption, lift off at the Dust Bowl. He just showed so much hunger there. Betterloo leaned in, wouldn't take no for an answer, bulleted it down on the ground. Nothing Howard could do. A sublime 10 minutes for Met Oval, a sublime 10 minutes for Matteo Betterloo. The 100% record back intact for now for Met Oval. Driven forwards towards Glenford. Gentle, Howard off his line. He's not looking right at all, Howard. It's set back. Baker blocked. Betterloo will keep it in. And actually, I thought he was going to keep it in. He's opted instead to let it go out for a corner kick. Another change imminent. Javier Gonzalez is stripped down. Corner given short. Kasha touched in. Thomas. Rebound. Will Baker. It's a magical 10 minutes for Met Oval. They've only gone and scored 3. That may be the win in the bag. Super subs indeed. Glenford, Bettelou and Baker coming off the bench and turning this game around. And that was Cashier's final action. He got a big hand in that, the touch in. The substitute Thomas almost scored as well there. Cashier is off. Javier Gonzalez on. It's 4-2 again at the Dust Bowl. And, I was talking with my cameraman today, Camden Brown. The only other time we've done a game together, it was a 4-3 thrilling final. And we said we just wondered if today might be of a similar level. Is that just the case for us? And I think the answer, ladies and gentlemen, is yes. There is just a special feel around the Dust Bowl, this historic location. And it may get better now. Well, Baker, 5. Do not scratch your eyes. This is really happening. Met Oval have scored 4 goals back to back. Baker with 2 in 2 minutes. Almost immediately from the kickoff. It's an absolute capitulation by First State. And a total breakthrough. A flood of Met Oval delight. This is why we love the game of football. You just cannot predict it. I'd say First State were the slightly better side in the first 10-15 minutes of this half. Either way, it felt very close. You thought Met Oval might find one, but it was narrow. But that equaliser came and the floodgates then opened. It's been an entirely different game. Iriarte. Lovely spin. Di de Blasio. Ball cut out. Small. Well, I think this game is beyond First State now. 13 minutes left. They're going to have to find 3 goals. Almost impossible to imagine that. They could maybe salvage something in terms of pride from it. Such a strange match. It has not felt like a 3-goal margin at all for so much of the contest. It's been really tight, but just suddenly the anvil fell from Met Oval. And I had to go back to watch the exact minutes of each of those goals, but pretty confident we were looking at about 15 minutes between the second goal and the 5th. The chant right now for our local Met Oval Ultra is Met Oval is on fire. Their offence is terrifying. Not sure I'd want to face them. Thomas. Well, Met Oval are going to go to FC Monmouth with an 100% record. Monmouth thus far 100% as well. Not actually sure if they're playing this weekend too. They have a game in hand in Met Oval. That ball's gone over the fence. And a lucky local, there's a bunch of houses backing over that fence, is going to get a free match ball. Just about kept in by Baker. Then he hesitated too long, and that's hammered into the behind of Small by Gonzalez. De Blasio, gentle, touches it back. Baker, who's on a hat-trick now. Don't forget, having come on just at the hour mark. Gonzalez, Uriarte, dispossessed, and it's given back to Pesada, but First State totally incapable of keeping the ball at the moment. Thomas. Bettelou. Thomas. A swagger and Metovo step. But Thomas asked a bit too much there of Baker with that pass. But First State continued just to look shell-shocked. But despite the scoreline, we can't forget that First State showed a lot of quality at many periods in this game. There was times they were the better side, but as soon as the equaliser went in, they totally collapsed. Here's Baker. Gonzalez, Baker, spinning on a dime. Coach Boaklow just telling his team to manage the game now. No need to take big gambles. They've got the 3-goal cushion. But that won't stop them from looking for more. De Blasio is offside. He would love to get himself on the score sheet. Bernard, gentle. And something that's so notable about this Metovo side is Coach Boaklow can change 4 or 5 players and still feels like the same team you're watching in terms of the style, the chemistry. And when I spoke to him about that early in the season, he said a lot of that's just due to these boys, almost all of them coming through the Metovo Academy. They understand the philosophy, they understand what's expected of them, and they have dedicated themselves and done so many repetitions achieving that. Small trying to buy himself a free kick, and he's successfully done that. Guys, remember, we've got so much more action coming up on Game of Frame. 5 more games after this one, or I think even 6. I'm losing track tonight. Tomorrow, but the pick of the bunch for that is going to be Hoboken against Ironbound, New Jersey State Cup final. Tomorrow, lots of games as well, 5 CSL finals. Also, Pansippers against Lansdowne. That is arguably the game of the weekend. Biggest grudge match in US soccer. APSL Metro final, don't miss it, 4 p.m. Then we're going to have the Rough Riders against Motown as well. USL2 table-topping battle. That's going to be exclusively on Sports Engine, the USL2 game. Touch around the corner, lovely touch by Gentle. Baker delayed too much, but First State continuing just to have trouble to keep it. And here's Bernhard. Looking across to Gentle, cut out well initially. That Oval have the feeling of vultures circling a body at the moment. Every time they go forwards, First State is out of this game, but still the hosts want more. Uriarte, Gentle, Thomas. This is a good ball. I'm not exactly sure why Bettelou slid for that. Baker, that was a good slide, and he puts that for a goal kick. Well, it's hard to recap everything that's happened in this game, but a long time ago, Morimoto scored inside the first 10 minutes for First State. His goal was quickly cancelled out by Reynoso, and Morimoto, scored again to give First State the lead, and they held that for a while. It was a very, very tight game until a little after the hour mark, when the super subs came on for Met Oval. Gentle, Bettelou and Baker scoring 4 inside about 15 minutes to totally flip this game. Here's Bernard. De Blasio, and that should be a free kick. Bernard hauled over, but the referee not interested. A big shout out to what I like to call the Met Oval Ultras as well, the supporters section. They've given a wonderful atmosphere again. Thomas with a take no prisoners tackle. Morimoto let out a yelp of pain and then realised he had the ball. And started getting to his feet and twirling. The referee, I think, did see it as a free kick. And he's going to give a book as well, a booking to Thomas. It will be Morimoto, the man with 2 to his name, already 2 goals to his name, to take the free kick. Morimoto, he went towards the frame, and Alex Morena won't have a much easier save than that. Slipping towards that final minutes here. It's a massive game away from home for Met Oval next weekend, and also should note that we're going to have them against Motown on the final day of the season. We're going to have more games as well, still another 3 to go for Met Oval at home. It's another away stretch for them before then, as that shot towards the frame by TJ Small, but easy save again from Rainier. It's going to be Monmouth and then a bit of a break, and then a Braveheart away for Met Oval. So not an easy run by any means. Braveheart yet to get a point this season, but all their games have been tight, and including their one against Met Oval, came down to the wire. Harrison, it'll cut out. De Blasio, Will Baker. Scanning for options. And there's a really poor ball to De Blasio. Here's Thomas. Gonzalez closed down. And Morimoto's looking for a run from a teammate that hadn't been made. And this defeat will continue. First State after positive period. They will now just be 1 point from the last 2 games. They were leading again. Just hang on a second. That ball was beautiful with the angle, but slightly too much on it for Simmons, or Nichols even, who'd made the run. De Blasio. Thomas. Uriarte. Thomas. Baker. Bettelou. Feels more like a training exercise now for Met Oval. All the jeopardy taken out of the game. But how different much of this contest felt. Baker. Surrounded by one too many green shirts. And it sounds like 2 minutes of stoppage time, the number. Small. Nichols. Poor touch by him. Bernard. Araujo rain just starting to come down here again, very lightly. Baker, don't forget he's on a hat-trick. He might just snatch one in. Ariarte gives out on the far side to De Blasio. Crowd is counting down, but I think actually the game clock in the stadium about a minute behind the true game clock. We've got, I think, a minute of stoppage time remaining. Clever touch by Small. Over the top, and Maramoto is also on a hat-trick, wasn't too far away. Took one right in the stomach from Alex Moreno. And the referee, as we hit 30 seconds remaining the stoppage time, is going to pause it. I think some of the players just saying, well, can we just have full time now? Can't blame them. They've all worked very hard. In very, very high tempo. I imagine the referee will let Alex Moreno restart play and then promptly blow the full-time whistle. Let's see, maybe 30 seconds left. Hoofed up in the air by Posada, and there is the full-time whistle. Met Oval with a remarkable, rapid comeback to turn the game around in the space of 15 minutes. They were 2-1 down as we approach the final quarter of the game. 4 goals in 15 minutes. That's right. To transform the state of play and complete their all-winning record in the league for clubs. It was the subs who made the difference. Gentle got the equaliser. Bettelou gave them the lead, and then Baker with the brace. Quick-fire brace, both his goals in the space of about 2 minutes. Incredible game. Guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be back shortly with post-match interviews. 1-0 lead. Gianna Paul is going to go for a long-range shot! Oh my word! It's astonishing! Explosive! Unreal! Gianna Paul!
Back out wide. The Staten Island Monarchs looking for the opening goal! Goal!
And Hudson Valley Hammers in the last few minutes have flipped the score.
Lovely. And away he goes at pace. For Song. No, it's for Knight. Does he find Song? Yes, he does in the middle. Song alone and rolls it ever so gently past Meta. Tremendous link-up play from CPR, who string passes together like beads on a friendship bracelet. And the resulting finish, blink and you'd miss it. But
Boss sees the ball fall to the New Jackson Lions midfielder.
Despite being pressed by 2, was as calm and cool as ever. And she already has 1 goal to her name. Oh, it's a second from outside the 18-yard box. Goal! Brooklyn City!
Weaver with the recovery run, pokes it, waiting for the advantage.
That's clever. Ryan Saramago specs the shot. Oh my word! It's an absolute worldie by Captain Fantastic. The Tomcats are in the lead again. Audacious, stupendous.
My name is Austin Brummett. I'm a men's soccer player at San Diego State University and I play forward. The Salt Air Case helps block odor walking around in my trainings. And it's super helpful for travel. When I travel in the airport to go to away games, it's not going to stink up my backpack or stink up the plane where I'm sitting. Magnetic strip on the top is super easy to open to take my cleats out and to put my cleats back in. I think it's an essential part of my outfit for soccer and it helps keep all my stuff organized and stink-free.
The Dust Bowl with Matteo and Glenford. The super subs, you guys totally flipped the game. Thank you. Describe that 15 minutes where you guys scored 4 goals.
So it was amazing, man. We worked together. I feel like in the first half, my teammates, we were just a little lackadaisical in our technique. But, the coach demonstrated what he needed from us when we came in. And, as a team, we help out each other.
I think we were a little bit nervous in the first half. We knew we could win this game. We were just missing quality. And that's what we came out to do in the second half. We knew we had the chances in the first half. We just needed to put the ball back in the net. And, best feeling ever, being able to score, assist, and then run and celebrate with the kids.
I think I lost track of all the goals, I must confess. Glenford, you got the equaliser, right? Yeah, with your assist, Matteo. You still had quite a lot to do. And Matteo, you put the team in the lead. Yep. What's it like to score in front of this supporter section? They're the Met Oval Ultras. They are hardcore. They're not messing around.
No, I know. It was a great feeling. The cross was perfect. All I needed to do was connect. And, I've been playing for this club for a bunch of years now, and just amazing feeling.
You guys have fought back twice from behind at home against Braveheart on the first day. Today, what does it say about the character of the team? Next week, that is going to. It looks right now it's going to be U2 in the title race. So massive game. How much are you looking forward to that, Matteo?
We're very much looking forward. We're prepared. We have a lot of depth in our squad. We can rotate, and we're looking forward.
Okay. Guys, congratulations. You were the difference makers. Well done. Get some rest. Even though you only played for 30 minutes, I can see how much you're sweating. It was hot. You guys ran your socks off. Well done. All right, guys, we're going to be back shortly, I think, with Coach John Butler's right here. So, guys, totally turned the game on its head.
Yeah, for me, I don't think any of us were happy with the first half performance. And so I think the first thing we talked about at halftime was just the standards and the quality that we need to make sure we play with all the time. So thought in the second half, when we brought on some guys, I thought obviously they made a massive difference and how quickly we hit the second, third, fourth. I think with this group, once they feel confident, anything specific that we told them, I think what we talked about at halftime, honestly, the game plan that we wanted prior to the game, when we did it, worked, and we just didn't do it with enough quality. So I think the stuff we talked about at halftime with the guys, particularly about playing diagonally across the pitch and not trying to be so vertical, but trying to get diagonally to the weak side. And obviously with Matteo getting 2 goals on the weak side is kind of exactly how we drew it up a little bit. So it was more about the guys executing. One, they're so into it and so passionate about the club, and they get the opportunity to see these guys. And I know our guys really, really appreciate it. And I think they also start to feel the responsibility a little bit, that they're role models. So yeah, honestly, every home game is amazing. I love the Oval. So,
you guys have continued with the 100% record. There's the old cliche, title winners win even when they're playing bad. And you guys had some really good spells, particularly that last 30 minutes. But there's times where it was difficult. How pleased are you?
We also need to know, we can't always do that. We can't always rely on that. We've got a difficult game next week against Monmouth, who are also, unbeaten. So we need to make sure that going into next week that we have the quality for 90 minutes and not for spells.
How much are you looking forward to playing Monmouth? Because it looks as if it's going to be U2.
Yeah, no, it looks like it's going to be a really good game. They've got some really good quality. I know a lot of the players know each other, either having played at college or playing against each other at college. So I think it should be.
To say for us, it's good when you fall behind because it's always great entertainment when you come back. But yeah, I know you'd probably provide different.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
All right, thanks so much, Coach John. Take care. Thank you. All right, guys. Well, that just about does it from us at Met Oval. Once again, Met Oval fighting back from behind with great tenacity. You will not see a more remarkable 15 minutes than that. They put in 4 goals in rapid succession to turn the game around. All substitutes as well, scoring and mostly assisting those goals too. But big thank you to Met Oval.